gaming video. This one's going to cover the P-47 takeoff for our tutorial guide series that we've been doing. Let's go ahead and get in the cockpit and get this bad boy started up to go. Alright, so let's cover a few things first before we get rolling down for takeoff. With the P-47, the way it sits, it's hard to see the runway past the nose. It makes it awfully difficult to keep the aircraft straight. Now we can see the left white line and the right white line. Now those help to keep you centered the best you can down the runway during takeoff. Looking left, look right, looking left, looking right, so on and so forth. I find that's the best way to keep the aircraft centered on the center line as you roll down the runway. Now also the P-47 is a tail dragger. So while we're taxiing around the ramp, taxiways, and getting in position for takeoff, we have that wheel just moving freely. And that's fine for those kinds of things. But for takeoff, we want to go ahead, once it gets on the runway, creep forward and get the aircraft straight just a little bit. And once that wheel is straight, go ahead and lock it. Right side of the cockpit, little yellow handle, it says tail wheel lock. Set that to forward into the lock position. Now once we have that done, I'm going to go ahead and drop flaps for this takeoff. Perfect. And then we'll get the canopy shut as well. Little toggle switch right here on the left hand side. Right click, pull it forward. And the canopy will shut. Perfect. Now a few more things before we get rolling here. On the stick for takeoff, you want to hold that stick back all the way to you in this type of aircraft. That keeps the tail wheel on the ground, maintaining ground contact there. At about 100 miles or 100 on the airspeed, the tail wheel will come up off the ground. The aircraft will get level. We can see down the runway then, and then around 110 we can take off. So around 100, we want to push the level. We will level off the joystick, push it forward. The aircraft will come level. You'll see this in a second, and then we'll start to gradually pull back on our stick and actually take off. One more thing to note, and then we'll get going here. With the throttle on these aircraft, the tendency is to just go ahead and slam that thing forward, just like we do in most games. The aircraft will rocket on the runway and we'll take off. Not so in these kinds of aircraft and these kinds of simulators. You want to gradually increase the power, a little bit at a time as we're rolling down the runway, just like you would in real life. And then just slowly increase your speed and your power. Otherwise, the aircraft has a tendency to just veer off the runway one way or the other, and now you're in the grass. It's going to be a bad day. Alright, let's go ahead and hold our brakes here. I have rudder pedals, so I have toe brakes. However you hold your brake, go ahead and hold it now. And then we're going to gradually increase power to the engine like we were just talking about. Get to around 15,000 RPMs. Watching your manifold pressure as well. That's the gauge next to your RPM on the left there. Go ahead and pull back on the stick. Come on, release the brakes and hold about 10% on the right rudder. Come on, gradually increase power here. Power up, brakes off. On the right rudder there. Good climb speed for the P-47 is about 160. Good climb rate. Go ahead and do that. Back down with RPM a little bit. And there you have it. That's takeoff. Now in DCS and a lot of simulators, it can be frustrating. Just stick with it. Keep to the basics. You're going to have issues. You're going to crash a few times. That's alright. You'll get better, I promise. It's not as daunting as it looks. Just keep that in mind. Do the basics, nice and easy on the stick, and don't rush it. You will have a good time, I promise. Thanks for watching. Our next video is going to cover gunnery in the P-47, so look for that soon. And we will see you guys later.